fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
Hello everybody and welcome to Dynamic GT League for the Track Limits Championship Race 1 from the Red Bull Ring. Let's not waste any time, let's hand over to the commentators. So here we go then for the TLC. It's not tender loving care, it's not tasty loving chicken either. But what it is it's Ray in the commentary box with us as Steve F1 is on pole position for the Track Limits Championship. He'll be joined on the front row by SGP. So how are you then, Ray?
Not too bad as yourself.
Oh, not too bad. It has, hasn't it? I might have to get myself a Segway to start moving down this grid so I don't have to walk a bit like Brundle. If anyone pops up that I don't know, be like, I don't know who you are, but I'll ask you a question. It's Conrad in third place. Jason in fifth. Who's that there in... fourth. Who's that there in fifth?
It's Demon R, and he's got Dave the Harp on the inside of him, and then we've got Twilight. Twilight, I've got something to say about him. And then we've got Art Pal. And holding up the rear, we've got a mighty Nash Bob.
Aye, that we have. Okay, so race is going to be getting underway in a few moments' time here at the Red Bull Ring. As we wait for the lights to go on. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and away they go. And who's got a good start? Connor's had a bad start. David over up the inside already. Dave the Ogre around the outside of Jason. So Connor with a bit of a tricky one. Dave could have a tight line there as they're 3 wide round 1. Will they all get through without a penalty? Because that's a new feature for this season. And it's the Track Limits Championship as Dave the Arp now making the move on Demon R.
Yeah, good start from Dave the Harp. 6th place. Jim Conrad, he's lost, 4 places? I'm just trying to guess. 3, 4 places, can't remember. Third to fifth.
So 2 places, yeah. Dave the Arp coming under a bit of pressure from Demon R. Now we should mention as well, folks, to check out the tyre wear indicator in the sort of bottom left corner next to the clock, but also the letters that are near it. The RSS means the race is super soft, and the RS means the race is soft. 2 different tyre compounds available to the drivers in this championship. Obviously, some will wear a lot faster, but some may give much more grip. It will be very much track dependent, as it looks like SGP and Steve F1 are breaking away a little bit up at the front here, Ray.
Yeah, they've got a second, the second half to Dave the Harp in 3rd place. Nice seeing Dave the Harp back up in the front rows as we see Twilight and... Is that Jason? Twilight, Jason and Art Pal having a wee battle.
Yeah, I think Art Pal and Twilight were side by side as they're now making their way down to the turn 1, the first corner. Jason on the inside could get tricky. Bob a little bit wobbly. Oh, he's on the inside and he might have made the move there. No, he hasn't. He's tucked in behind Art Pal. So regarding the penalties, it's Jason and Conrad side by side. It's interesting, Conrad's got yellow on his car. He doesn't normally have yellow. But also, Twilight's got yellow on his car, and he doesn't normally have yellow either. So Conrad makes the move.
You have to look for that SRI bye-bye.
Yeah, on the rear, yeah. Now, interestingly, Jason has got the racing soft tyre. It's going to take a little bit longer to warm up, and it's not necessarily as grippy or as fast, but could last a lot longer than the racing super soft tyres that are 3 wide. This could get interesting. Demon R would jump to him. He's on the racing super soft, and he's up the inside of Dave the Arp, who's ran a little deep. That's why we're having a look. They're still side by side. Then right behind them, we've got 2 yellow rear enders side by side. That was Twilight. No, it was Conrad and Arpal.
It's like a couple of baboons.
No, it is, isn't it? Yeah. I'll say nothing else to that one. Okay, round the outside, Demon R does get the move done. It's taken half a lap to complete that move, as somebody's died in bits.
Conrad.
Oh. No, it's not. It's Twilight.
Oh, it looked like Conrad. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
This is going to be a fun season.
It is, isn't it? Okay, Jason again. Oh, no, sorry. It wasn't Jason, it was Bob. It's going to take a little while, obviously, for us to get used to the drivers' liveries. One thing I will say is, as well, for the drivers on the pack cam, you may notice that we don't get a lot of a view. Oh, Bob up the inside of 2. Can he get it slowed down? Can he get it done? I tell you, that's a lovely move he's done on Connor there. Couldn't quite get the move on Arpal as well, but he may be compromised. Davey Arp got a bit of a rub back on Demon R.
No, he's got the run on Arpal coming down the hill.
He has, hasn't he? Is that Jason makes? Oh no, it's Bob. Oh, Jason does make a move on Connor in the background on the pack cam. But yeah, on the pack cam,
he's going for a move on Arpal as well.
Ooh.
Side by side.
Green car friends. Yeah, so on the pack cam, you'll notice we haven't got much of a view of the rear end of the car. I don't know why. Oh, big crash! Oh. Who was that? That's Bob Big sideways. There's Conrad deep in the gravel. Oh dear, I think Bob may have lost it on the curb. Now, it may not be a bad idea for those two to pit, you know, because if they're on the racing supers, their tyres are going to be hurting. They could pit now and recover it, no problem. So Twilight pitted when he did, although it's early, I don't think it's a problem, to be honest. But yeah, look at the rear.
He'll get a boost and catch up with the pack, and then it's kind of like near enough a free pit stop, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
That's early in the race, so.
Yeah, definitely, because he should be able to catch back up before everybody else thinks about pitting. And then they'll have fresher tyres. It could go a bit longer. Jason having a look up the inside, not going for it. Arpal having a look up the inside, not going for it. But yeah, so I'll try and get this mention out there. On the rear wing, guys, try and put your name little at the top on the rear wing so we can see it on the pack cam. Because otherwise you'll have a rear wing like that, and we don't know whose rear wing it is. Yeah,
a wee wing.
A wee wing.
Is that a wee wing?
Is it a wee wing or is it a welly wanging? Jason was trying to make a move on Arpal. They're still battling side by side. Ed Demon R's caught up to the leading 2. Ooh.
Yeah, he's on racing super softs.
Yeah.
So he's pushing them because the front 2 haven't been battling.
That is true. No, they haven't. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what tyres the front 2 are on. We probably could have seen earlier on. Probably did see earlier on. Demon R having a cheeky look, at least letting SGP know that he is there. Now, for those on the race's super soft tyre, really, they're going to want to try and get 13 minutes into the race if they can to do a 2-stop. Chances are, though, many may go for the 3-stop option. With the racing softs, though, a 1-stop may be doable. Demon R's got a much better run out of turn 1 on SGP here. I think even if SGP hugs the slipstream, I don't think he's going to be able to... Oh, a bit of a switch.
Yeah, it was like a dummy switch going from the left to the right to try and get SGP out of shape so he wasn't defending. And then it's a drag race down the hill. SGP just holds on at the moment.
He does. He's still Demon R's closing in though. He's having a look up the inside. and thinks better of it. Oh, the SGP's got a little bit deep. That could compromise him. Yeah, now the side-by-side. And on the pack cam, they're going to go 4 wide, I think. Oh, this is interesting now. You don't really want to be on the outside here. But if you're on the inside, you're kind of in a good position. Oh, Demon are very wide there.
Yeah, is that going to cost them a penalty?
Well, that's a good point, because the penalties are in play. I mean, what I will say is these two haven't touched each other, and I mean, I think that'd be a situation as well where if the DGT rules was the white line, it'd be a bit harsh to penalise Demon R for going wide there, because he was giving room. But he is now ahead of SGP. Still don't know what tyres SGP is on, and still looking at Steve F1. He's on the Racing Supers.
Softs as well. What's SGP? Ah, it went too fast.
It did, didn't it? Conrod's in the pits. He was on the soft tyre. So Connor's gone for an early pit stop, maybe with having that crash earlier on where Bob collected him, decided to get rid of those tyres. Perhaps do a bit of an undercut if he's expecting others to pit around 10 minutes, Ray.
Yeah, look at Twilight on the back of Bob here. It's as if he's got the tyres and the pace, but nowhere to go.
Absolutely. He's got... Oh, he nearly had the barrier to go to then. See, Twilight has got the fresher tyres. He may have the grip to... This is a risky one, but he may have the grip to go for this down the inside. They are 3 wide. Can he get it slowed down? Can he hold it? Yes, he can. Lovely move. Nicely done there by Twilight. Jason trying to follow him through with a bit of a switchback as well. I don't know if he can do it. Oh no! Oh, Pal and Bob! Oh dear! I don't know if Jason knew there was 2 cars next to him there. I don't know.
I probably only thought it was that Pal and didn't realise Bob was in there. Don't think MD could be blamed for that one.
At the moment, not from the view I had. Anyway,
not from their view at the moment. No.
Is that Bob heading to the pits? Yes.
Twilight's pushing Demon R's wide again.
Yeah, and he's got a penalty as well. Yeah, okay, so we've got 3 cars in the pits. This is what I was on about with Twilight's back in the pits, Jason in the pits as well. So although we've got different tyre compounds being used out there, pitting at similar time, but Connor should get a jump on all those guys because he pitted the lap before. Okay, so looking at Demon R now, so we've got the front 3 still going. Davey Arp in 4th. Steve F1's broken away a little bit as Demon R all ghosting. And would you like to explain what the ghosting's all about, Ray?
Yeah, unfortunately for within this game, when you're trying to get rid of your penalty, it ghosts your car. So it's a pain in the backside, but there's nothing we can do about it. We're trying it out, seeing how it goes. If a car's ghosted in front of you and you choose to try and go through it for an overtake and it on ghost and you hit that car, then it's your own fault. Exactly,
yeah. I mean, I would highly recommend not trying to drive through a ghosted car because sod's law is it will unghost by the time you get there. Who's
Twilight.
That? That is Twilight. He's just pitted as well. He's changed. He's on the soft tyre. I don't know if he was on the soft before, or if he was on the supers, but yeah, not a lot of grip in them at the moment. Definitely not a lot of grip in the gravel. There we go. Yep, not a lot of grip on the grass either.
Bye-bye, Twilight.
Okay, at some point we'll be hopefully be able to highlight that. It looks like the pack cam is going on board cam with SGP at the moment, who, on the Racing soft tyre, he is now keeping up with Demon R. So this is where the 2 different tyres are very interesting. Demon R had the pace and the grip earlier on, but now he's perhaps struggling with the grip. Or he's still getting rid of his penalty a little bit.
And also, if you're getting rid of your penalty and you're ghosted, it doesn't mean you can go side to side on a track or whatever, as if you were kidding on blocking somebody in case you do unghost, because that's just
bad etiquette. You know, it's a good point now. Maybe something we should sort of discuss a bit afterwards. But I suppose one way to look at it is if you are the car that is getting rid of your penalty and you are ghosting, you should probably be driving in a way as if your car was not ghosted. So yeah, okay, what we got here then? Connor ahead of Dave the Harp. Dave the Harp has not pitted yet. Artpal has had a penalty. Yep. Bob closing in. So Connor's has gained quite a lot, hasn't he? As SGP still right up behind Demon R. Steve F1 racing supers. He's got more grip or less wear than Demon R at the moment. But I mean, some people may
know Steve F1 has he can look after his tyres.
You know. Well, I was going to say, well, Steve F1 and Demon R have had two very different races so far. Steve F1 has led from the start, had to work through. So having those different types of races, and Demon R has got SGP harassing him now as well. But this is fascinating looking at the time, Ray, because around now I'd be saying, right, this would be a good time to pit for a two-stop strategy on the Racing Super Soft tyre. If you're SGP, I mean, do you pit at the same time? Oh, Steve F1's got deep! Oh, is it?
Has.
Oh, I've got really raspy throat today. I don't know why. So Steve F1 may have had more grip available to him, but yeah, trying to use too much of it. Demon R's running a little bit wide. And it's kind of catch-22 with these tyres as well, isn't it, Ray? That once they start going off a little bit, if you're braking a touch too late, you then slide them more, and then they go off a bit more, and it gets worse and worse.
Yeah, Demon R is sliding more on that second left-hander there. He seemed to be sliding a wee bit more.
Interestingly as well.
Worth.
Car just behind these guys. Oh, leaders in. Okay, yeah, Steve F1. Yeah. That car there, Connor, currently running in net second place. He's already made one pit stop. He could end up leading this race, you know. Got Artpal following him. Dave the Harp must have pitted the previous lap. Yes, he did. So as these guys are coming through turn one, this is interesting. I didn't look at what tyres Conrad was on then. Artpal's on the Super Softs, having pitted not too long ago. And on the pack cab, Dave the Harp has passed Steve F1. And who's that? Jason coming. No, it's not. It's Twilight, sorry. Twilight just behind Steve F1. So they may get close up into turn two.
Twilight just giving him a bum draft, yeah. The thing is, Conrad's going to have to either do a longer stint if he's going to two-stop it, and when he sets the tyres. So we'll need to see how that plays out. Or I don't know if a three-stop's going to be quicker now.
Well, that's the question. That's going to be the question, isn't it? I mean, he's caught up to SGP rapidly. I mean, SGP will be thinking as well on the different tyre compounds. If he wants to make this work, really, he needs to keep going. But he's going to be losing so much. Connor's up alongside him already. We're going to make the move into the penultimate corner. SGP doesn't fight it, and that makes sense. He doesn't need to be fighting things at the moment. He just needs to keep circulating. However, I think he's going to lose too much time compared to the likes of Steve F1, because they're going to have at least 2 laps undercut on him now. And on the pack camp, Twilight, all getting a little bit wobbly. Demon R's closing in as SGP staying close to Connor, who gets a little bit twitchy. But yeah, well, here we go, down into turn 1 then. Twilight, Demon R side by side. And holy guacamole!
What happened to it?
Well, what's that on the back? SRI, Bob? It might have been SRI, hello. Someone's gone deep at turn 2. I think that might have been Jason. Yes, I think it was. I could be wrong. It could have been Bob. Okay, so let's just quickly recap. SGP, while all that has been happening, SGP has lost a position to Artpal. SGP, you can physically see, is now struggling for grip.
Yeah, and it's not going to be too long until Steve F1 and Demon R are on the tail end of him.
Well,
I think they're just like a corner away, so they're just there, and it just flashed in the background there. Oh, here comes Artpal. He's picked up the pace. He's on the back of Conrad. So these two with their fresh tyres. Artpal going to look in the inside. Oh, puff of smoke from Connor's brakes there.
Nice bit of driving. I mean, that puff of smoke, it would suggest to me that O'Connor may be running a slightly forward brake bias. SGP is into the pits now. Is that Art Pal? Connor's going to make a move on Art Pal. Is he down into 1? Is he? No, not into 1. It's probably a good idea to wait until 2. He's very busy on the pack cam though. Steve F1 and Demon R side by side nearly behind Jason. So we've got a lot kicking off at the moment, typical in DGT. We may only have 9 drivers on the track today, but there's plenty of action already. Conrad up the inside, and in the background we can see the battle kicking off. Conrad makes the move. Art Power's going to try the switch back. He'll get the run down into turn 3. This is brilliant driving, 2x2 on the pack cam as well.
Yep, fantastic.
Connor's going to struggle here. He's got a lot of wear on that, on the front end. Yeah, he's not quite got the grip on the front. Going to have a look at a switch back. Can't quite do it. The front end's sliding a little bit, and the rear end gets twitchy because of it on the pack cam. Still getting busy. Who's that? Demon R's ahead of Steve F1, who's now trying to get past Jason as Connor. I think Connor may be heading to the pits. He pitted about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, he's wide. Oh, he might get a penalty for that.
He might do. See, if Connor could... I was going to say, if he could go another lap, it would be good for him, but I don't think his tyres are really going to hold on. I think he's going to be looking at heading into the pits as Demon R trying to make a move on Bob on the pack cam. There we go on the main screen now. So side by side, they go into the final corners, and somebody I think did that.
And the pits.
Oh yeah, and so is Conrad. Okay, so
we'll see how this plays out. We'll see how this plays out for his second pit stop. He's got to get to the end.
Well,
this is his second pit stop, isn't it? I think he's going to have to do a free.
Yeah, he's not getting. Or I don't think anyone's getting.
Oh, Steve F1 a wee bit wobbly there, trying not to hit Jason, making sure it was Jason.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can get to the end at the moment, looking at how the tyre wear is. So Steve F1 up the inside of Jason. Another little puff of tyre smoke there. Steve F1's kind of in a position as well where he doesn't really want to be letting Demon R break away from him. But at the same time, Demon R and Steve F1 can't go battering their tyres because they do have to be aware of what SGP is going to be doing. Because SGP pitting when he did would show that he's not on a 1-stop, he's on at least a 2-stop. So when is SGP's second stop going to be is going to be a critical question. Dave the Harp, though, he's now on fresher tyres than Art Pal, closing in on him rapidly as Art Pal's tyres start going off, just like we saw with Art Pal and Conrad.
Yep, it's a battle of the tyres.
Well, in that case, unlucky Dave, this is not going to work out for you. No, I'm joking. I mean, he is. But this is one of the brilliant things about having the different tyre compounds and the different tyre wears. A fresh set of tyres against a worn set of tyres, it's a massive difference, and it is going to mix racers up big time. So Art Power holding on to his position for the moment, but this is going to allow Demon R to really close in. Because let's not forget, Demon R's tyres are only 6 minutes old. Dave the Harp got a run here on Art Power. Art Power going defensive, but I don't think it's going to help him at all. When they get to the corner, let's find out.
Dave the Harp a wee bit. He just got that round outside. I thought he was going off track. But he managed to keep it in the track limits here, and now we've got Demon R on the back of Art Pal.
Having a look. Art Pal having a look as well. I don't know if Art Pal was going defensive, but he's definitely going offensive now, making the move past Dave the Arp. Demon R trying to come through as well. Steve F1 trying to follow Demon R through. I mean, I'm wondering whether Dave just went a little bit late on the brakes up at turn 2. You're thinking, right, let's get on the brakes late and get the move done. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out for him. Steve F1 trying to go around the outside. Demon R trying to go up the inside. Art Pal, a little bit of understeering. That left-hander opens the door, but now they're side by side into the penultimate. This is risky because if a car on the inside's got worn tyres, if they understeer, it could be disaster. But Demon R is through, and Art Pal.
Well, they both want the pits.
I hope Dave wanted the pits then. But yeah,
get some radio communication.
Yeah. Dave, pit stop, copy. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm so sort of coffee today. Oh, excuse me. I've probably not had enough fluids.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say water, but I've not been having who's that behind Jason?
It's SGP.
He may be getting a penalty for that. I think he got a bit too close to his rear end and ended up taking a little bit of evasive.
Yeah, I just seen that like he was on the curb, but I don't know if he was slowing down. It might have just said, "Nah, you're all right. Keep going."
Yeah, computer says nah. Okay, I am hearing as well. Oh, SGP making a nice switch back on Jason there on the pack cam. Dave the Harp and Artpal have come out of the pits, I believe. That's Artpal just ahead of Dave. I could be wrong because I can't really see names on the wings. Dave making the move up into turn 3.
Yeah.
Yep, it was Artpal. Yeah, that it was.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, bit of news on what we saw with Twilight early on into turn 1, turning left when the track goes right. He was taking evasive. Felt that at the point that if he hadn't have turned left, Steve F1.
SGP's on the pits.
Ooh. Okay, hold that thought. Conrad making a move on Jason. No, yes, Twilight's there as well. I can't believe so many people's liveries. They've tried to make their liveries unique, and in doing so,
They
made them match. So a lovely move.
It's like a dating site, Match.com, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's more. I was going to say it's more like Tinder. Yeah, swipe right, meet them in person. They look nothing like the picture. Okay, so Connor side by side with Twilight. So Twilight was taking evasive earlier on. If he hadn't have done, he felt he was going to be sending Steve F1 into a completely different country. SGP pitting though, Ray. I said earlier it could be a critical point of this race. What could it mean for him now?
He's got about 17 minutes to go. I bet it's going to be a bit of a push for a set of tyres, is it not?
It might be, but I do know in practice he was looking at the 20-minute stints, trying to do a one-stop. Bob making a move on Jason here. I think an interesting part of it is SGP pits with 17 minutes to go. When do Demon R and Steve F1 pit? Because every lap they carry on, that's SGP closing that gap by 6 seconds.
Oh, I don't know when they pitted. I can't remember.
Well, they pitted with 13 minutes gone. It looks like we're going on board for a lap with Conrad, that might be. So they're probably not going to be pitting for another, 4 minutes? We're 25 minutes in, so 2 to 3 minutes, so another 2 or 3 laps maybe. And SGP's already in 8th place, heading into turn 1 now. So they're on the same straight, and SGP's just going to be closing that gap. So here we go, Demon R, Steve F1. Tyres don't look too bad actually for the wear on Demon R at the moment. Be interested to see what Steve F1's tyres are like. He's got more grip available to him by the looks of it.
Yep, on the racing super softs. And then Conrad on the racing softs. Twilight racing softs. A lot more grip. Dave the Harp, he's just pitted, hasn't he? Well, we don't know if he wanted to pit, but he was getting it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Artpal, he's with fresh. I mean, so SGP's closing up rapidly, and he's hardly taken anything out of his tyres. Oh, that's Jason's tyres I was looking at. Dave the Arp having a look at making a move on Twilight. Dave the Arp with the fresher tyres. He's going to want to go aggressive. I think Twilight's kind of showing here he may be heading to the pits, or he's going very, very defensive. No, he's heading to the pits. Okay. Bob on the back of Dave the Arp now. I must admit, I do like the pack cam view of the onboards in this car. It is a very nice open view. But three-way battle now down into turn 1. Dave the Harp, Bob.
He's got to slow it down.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if I could go Bob. Artpal got a bit of a run, but Dave the Arp giving Bob, sharing the slipstream now. Now this is where Artpal may be able to go a little bit later on the brakes, but if he does, could hurt those tyres. Can Bob get that slowed
go
down?
For a switch.
Oh, but he gave him a nudge.
Yeah, he parked it. He gave Artpal a ticket. You see the yellow ticket in his windscreen.
You know what he did there? He didn't lick it, sent it. He parked it, licked it, loved it.
Who did the licking, Artpal or
Well,
Bob?
I'm not saying. Now, SGP gets into this. And while this has been going on, as Bob and Artpal still battling, SGP is going to go for a little switchback. Yes, he is. With the fresher tyres, maybe able to have a look up the inside of the left-hander. Yes, he does. Oh, this could get tricky.
He's got it done before the right-hander.
See, normally we wouldn't see overtakes in that middle sector, but I think with the different levels of wear, into the pits, Demon R then, just under 13 minutes to go, and then SGP's already on him. So yeah, Steve F1 carries on. I'm guessing he must be thinking just keep going and have fresher tyres at the end. But we're going to see now just how much time SGP has gained over race leader. Bob making the move at Artpal into one and makes it stick as well. Nice move.
Yeah, fantastic. And Artpal try to get the slipstream into turn 2 here. Is he going to get it? Artpal's on the outside. Is he going to go for the switchback again? He'll just need to watch for that. No, he's trying round outside.
It might work for him. Oh no, Bob got a good run out of the corner. Okay, just to let you know, so SGP is sort of heading to turn 3. Demon R's into turn 1 now. Yeah, so this straight they've just been down. Oh, Bob's got deep after all that great driving. He's gone and bobbed it. Bob Dignagian, that's a save from somewhere, isn't it?
What?
Bob Dignagian.
Don't know.
I don't know. The side by side they're going. Okay, so
do we need subtitles for that?
probably. Oh, not up the inside. Nice little move. Actually, you know what? I do want to ask you. Like, obviously, we've just had a bit of an off season. Did you do anything interesting in the off season?
Me? I've been doing a wee bit of online GT7, a wee bit of F1 and a VR.
Steve F1 into the pits, so Demon R's going to get one lap undercut on him. I decided to try and lose a bit of weight. I've been trying to lose weight by wearing bread on my head. It's a new low-fat diet.
Alright. As we see, SGP was thinking about a move on Dave the Hart, but tucked back in. I think he's trying to get the run out the corner.
Not quite worked for him though, did it? He got on the curb.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like the pack cam's on board with Demon R, who's just come out of turn 2. So this is where really SGP needs to get a shift on, because if he does,
see what tyres Demon R's on as well. See the difference, if there's any difference in the tyre.
In the compound, well, he's getting up alongside Jason as SGP trying to go around the outside of Dave the Arp. Oh, he got a little bit close there, or maybe squeezed him a little bit. So SGP still not making the progress he would like at the moment, because Demon R is not too far behind. Excuse me. Now Connor and Dave are going to be pitting again. I don't know when. SGP having a look up the inside. Dave trying to hold it round the outside. Connor goes pits now. Dave got a little bit wide. SGP makes the move. Dave looks for a little bit of a switchback. But all that has really done is allowed Artpal to close in. Dave the Arp's having a look up the inside. And Demon R is closing in as well and dragging Jason along with him. Dave having a look up the inside. SGP just manages to hold it and get through.
Dave a little bit squirrely there in the corner. Maybe lost a wee bit of time or drive out the corner there, but he's trying hard, isn't he?
Yes.
With the tyres he's got.
Artpal going a little bit deep there, missing the apex a tiny bit. Demon R on those brand new tyres. Yeah, he's got the run. He'll get the slipstream as well as the two cars ahead go a little bit defensive. Now, I think he's got the tyres to sort of hold on down the inside. Dave the Arc can't quite do anything about SGP at the moment, but again, this is a critical point for SGP. He really would have wanted to have been a lot further down the road by the time Demon R gets into sort of second place, because what SGP would have wanted is that big gap and then Demon R getting no boost. Or very, very small amount of boost. Oh, Dave's got a little deep. Demon R makes a move in that corner again on a car that's perhaps struggling a little bit on its tyres. And that's what I was saying earlier about you don't normally see overtakes in there, but with the different levels of wear and different compounds, Dave up into the pits, yeah, we are seeing a few overtakes. So this is where SGP, with 8 minutes to go, would Twilight's got a penalty. It might be making a move as well. Yeah, SGP would have liked about a 6 to 10 second lead, making Demon R have to be a second faster a lap and kill his tyres. Problem for SGP is that gap wasn't there. Go on.
Jason a little bit wide, turn 1. But Demon R's on the racing super sauce, SGP's on the racing sauce, isn't he? And it was only, what, two laps earlier he pitted?
Yep. Well, may have been a bit more. Twilight serving his penalty. Steve F1 going, what a move.
So Demon R will have to look after his tyres as well, just like.
Well, it's
all.
all.
SGP's racing sauce, the switch round.
Yeah, like we saw in the
doesn't
first.
come at the wrong time. Doesn't come at the wrong time for Demon R.
Well, this is the interesting thing now, I think, with these two, is Steve F1 trying to make a move on Jason on the pack cam. If Demon R sits behind SGP here, he benefits nothing, because SGP's tyres will last better. Demon R got a little wide. So I think Demon R needs to make the move and try and pull away if he can. I think that's the only way the tyre benefit will work for. Oh, a little bit of a switchback. May have been a little bit of a nudge, I'm not sure, but through Demon R goes. So into the final corner. Oh, running a little bit wide.
Yeah, a little bit wide.
Oh, he's pulling over.
He's pulling over. No, he's not.
No. Well, maybe he was going defensive. SGP having a look up the inside. No, thinks better of it. So this now is where if SGP can hang on to Demon R and put him under pressure, he'll burn up Demon R's tyres. Steve
F1's got less tyre wear than Demon R.
Well, he pitted a lap later, didn't he? So yeah, he's going to have that benefit. But although he's looking at
pure cars to get past.
Yeah, well, he's got Art Pal for definite, and then he's got a gap to close the Art Pal. Nice switchback. Got a lovely drive out of that corner. And I think Twilight's going to be closing in on these two as well. And Jason closing in on Twilight. Art Pal going defensive. I think Steve may, if he's got the tyres, could go round the outside. I think he's got Twilight. Nearly went through the. Art Pal got sideways. It was close. Normally, going round the outside in that corner is a risky one, but if you've got the fresher tyres, it's one you can do. Twilight, we saw, get sideways. He's going to suffer right here, right now. They'll get Jason through. Connor, he'll have a look as well. Got to be careful, though, because he doesn't want Twilight understeering into him. Twilight, I mean, his tyres aren't too old, but just over 5 minutes to go. I mean, the thing is as well, I mean, pitting now, if anyone was a bit desperate on tyres or wasn't sure, pitting, Twilight's in. I'm going to say pitting now, like Art Pal. I think if he pitted now, he'd have no worries about tyres to the end. I mean, he wouldn't really lose anything because he's going backwards at the moment anyway. Well, he's trying to go forwards.
He's trying to go forwards.
Well, the thing is, I mean, go on.
Oh, Conrad, I thought Conrad had a run at him there. He still lost a lot of time in that first corner to Jason.
Yep.
So his tyres are hurting him.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. See, Steve F1 passed him on this straight, or back. Oh, yeah, I think he was a bit late on the brakes there. Perhaps tyre definitely hurting him now. Conrad gets through, and here comes Dave the Arp, who, I believe, pitted not long ago. So Dave could be on very, very fresh tyres. And if you look on the pack cameras, in the track map in a moment, Dave the Arp up the inside. Oh, Conrad up the inside of Jason. I don't know if he'll get it stopped. Nearly. Oh, nice move by Dave as the other two are side by side.
Yeah, and I think Jason seen him coming and gave him just that wee bit extra room.
Absolutely.
Around that corner. As we see them, they're still side by side. Dave the Harp sticking his nose in there.
Yep.
It's going to go around the long way. Oh, just a wee bit of contact, but yeah, Dave the Harb's trying to find a way around Jason. He's gone left, he's gone right,
Jason,
but in the right way.
yeah. Well, I mean, they've got very different tyres. I think Jason's on the softs, or Dave may have got just touched a little bit wide there. I do think in these cars it is a little difficult on occasion to know when you've nudged the car when it's next to you. I don't know if it's the seated position that makes things different, or the view, I don't know. But yeah. Okay, on the track map, Demon R has opened up a big gap up at the front already. Steve F1 trying to close in on SGP. Jason trying to close in on Dave, but Arpal trying to make the move on both of them. Conrad smoking the tyres. Arpal gets ahead of Jason just.
Yeah, I don't think Dave the Harp realised there was free wide when he turned in there, and it was met with Jason's car.
Yep.
But Jason was given room to Arpal as well. Oh, nice, right round outside Dave the Harp there.
Yep.
So we've got Steve F1, he's caught on the back of SGP.
Yep, that is.
His tyres are still good. SGP's tyres are gone.
Well, the thing is, they're not gone, they're good. Well, his rear left is bad, but in comparison to Steve F1's tyres, yeah, they're gone. I mean, SGP, you look at SGP's pace, yeah, it's the pace he would expect to be doing. He wouldn't be expecting a rapid pace like Steve F1's probably doing at the moment with that bit of boost. Yeah, so I think on the super softs, on a nice stint as Steve F1 making the move, or trying to, yeah, sort of 129s to 130s towards the end of the stint, maybe the 131s at the very end of the stint. So SGP's pace isn't bad, it's just up against a much, much fresher super soft tyre, nothing he could do. But this is where I was saying earlier, what SGP needed was that about 6 to 10 second gap by the time Demon R Steve F1 got into second place. He's trying to fight back, but not going to be able to do it under the brakes because, Demon R was probably, 4 seconds up the road or something like that. SGP would have been wanting that 6 seconds ahead and them hunting him rather than hunting, well, it wasn't really a hunt, was it? Arpal, his tyres are gone.
Yeah, but he's still putting up a fight. Dave the Harp's getting the rear end out a wee bit. And again.
That he is. We've only got a minute left to go, Ray, which means, are we going to get to the line? I think the leaders should be on for getting another lap. Fuel, we've not talked about fuel at all this race, but that's because fuel is irrelevant. Yes, it's there and it burns off, but we don't need to refuel or anything like that. No one should be low on fuel. Arpal having a cheeky look. Can't quite do anything though. Who are we on board with there? Someone going into the penultimate corner. That's Twilight. I think we're on. Twilight pitted 4 minutes ago, didn't he? He pitted with 5 minutes to go. So Twilight is going to get the extra lap, and he's on the back of the. SGP. Well, SGP's gone from trying to win to got Connor on him, but at the back of these guys is Twilight's already up to 6th. How?
To Arpal?
I think Arpal may have had he's spun at 1. Okay, Connor, is he making a move on the brakes? We are into the fight. SGP's got deep. Dave the Arp deep, but here comes Twilight. What a move.
Fantastic. SGP's tyres have gone now.
Oh, yeah.
Is he going to get Conrad into turn 3?
It's Twilight.
Go on, Twilight.
Well, the thing is,
Dave the Harp's so good.
Connor's gone wide. Twilight has gone from 9th to 8th to 3rd in 3 corners on the last lap of the race. He's gone for the super softs.
Is he going to get Steve F1?
Well, I don't know. I think he might be
not that far back.
Well, true. Well, Demon R's headed into the penultimate corner. You know what? Demon R's not got a lot of tyre wear left, has he? So Demon R coming through into the penultimate. You know what? Twilight is catching Steve F1. Demon R, is he going to cross the line? Well, he is going to cross the line. He is going to take the victory. Maximum points. Well done. Second place, Steve
Twilight.
F1. Where is he?
Twilight,
he's there. He managed to, Conrad, well done, Dave. Dave's penalty. He was ghosted over the line. Bob, you can't park there, mate. Arpal, a little bit wide there. And it looks like Jason did not get the extra lap. I think there was a lot going off on those last 2 laps there. I think, unfortunately, Jason, I think, was in a bit of a collision. Didn't see on the main screen. He ended up in the barrier by the pit entry with a lap or 2 to go. That's cost him big time. Art Pal lost it at turn 1, and that set Twilight up for a mega final lap there. To be honest, I think if there'd have been another lap, I think he'd have probably got Steve F1 and possibly even Demon R.
Yeah. Yeah, another lap, yeah. He was flying in that last lap, wasn't he?
Absolutely. Okay, a couple of things to mention. No G-Spot this week. There are things I want to show on the G-Spot, but we're not going to do anything this week. There is going to be a special feature touching on something we've talked about previously in a previous G-Spot, but I'm going to save that for next week. So yeah, don't worry about looking for that this week. However, if there are reports that come in, I haven't got a problem putting them together after the weekend. So yeah, but anyway, well, I don't know what to say about that other than what a race. I mean, non-stop action, start to finish. A bit weird having a lights out start of the race after doing the formation laps for a season. But yeah, very interesting, different choices of strategies going on.
Yeah, some taking the tyres a wee bit long and some not. But yeah, great race.
Yeah.
Nine drivers on track. But still a fantastic show.
I mean, it is a shame, unfortunately, a few people, I think there was a couple of people were taken ill on race day and a couple of others, unfortunately, unable to make the race on race. It happens sometimes. I mean, you take Formula Gary, for example, his favourite track and not able to race because his internet provider is 6 weeks late, 6 weeks, 4 weeks, I think, late on installing internet at a new house. He moved 2 weeks ago, I think, or a week or 2 ago. It had been arranged for like 3 weeks, and he's not going to have it for another week or 2. So yeah, not best pleased is Gary, but unfortunately that kind of crap can happen. In a moment we'll have a look at a little look at what track is next, but I asked you earlier about things we got up to in the off season. I got myself a girlfriend in the off season.
What's her name? Raquel?
No. Her name's Lauren. But she left a note on the fridge this morning that said, "This isn't working. I'm leaving." She's a fucking liar, though. I opened opened the fridge, and my beers were still cold. Fucked up that punchline, didn't I?
I think you fucked that up.
Yeah. I've been waiting weeks to say that joke because I thought you'll fucking love this one. Yeah, this isn't working. I'm leaving. She's a fucking liar. I opened the fridge and my beers are still cold. Could be worse. I mean, 97% of people are stupid, and thank God I'm in the other 5%.
Not another 5%.
Yeah, it's all right though, because I might make a lot of jokes, but I'll never make jokes about lazy people.
Go on.
You go on what?
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
Well, I am, but I'm waiting for you to say a certain couple of words. So yeah. I make a lot of jokes, but you can't just move on. You fucking. You meant to say why not? I make a lot of jokes, but I'll never make jokes about lazy people.
Why not?
Because they never work.
Alright. I'm trying to find the bloody tracks.
See, this is all I'm doing. I'm just giving you time, you see, to get the next.
Now you're taking me off my fucking task. I thought I put it in our channel, but I've not.
Probably did.
Well, I've not put it in the right order.
Would you like me to tell you what track it is? I mean, there isn't anything that we really need to look into regarding the track, but I mean, obviously we can. Oh, so we'll see how long it takes. Right. Well, another thing I did in the off season was I wrote a book about how to fall down stairs. It's a step-by-step guide.
Step by step. Oh, babe. Sorry, that just came into my head. Your joke was shite, but they remind me of a good song.
Right. I want to ask you a question, and your answer should be quick. Okay. What's 12 plus 12?
12 plus 12, 24.
Nope. Keep looking for your track.
Vegas is trying.
Now, what I will say is, over the past couple of seasons, one thing we've tried to do is keep the end of race video bit quite short. And I do want to try and sort of keep that up. Right, come on.
I'm trying.
But what I will say...
race 2 is Brazil.
Ah, there we go. Oh, Brazil, right. Oh, interesting. Well, there is a couple of things that we do want to talk about, actually, especially with us not having a G-spot. Okay, one thing we didn't really get to talk about during the race today was the time of day that we're racing at. Closest to 7 p.m. as possible. That has a massive effect on how the tyres can behave. But also it'll have a massive effect on how the tyres will behave at one track to another. And us going to Brazil is a track that is known for being a tyre killer. But it's one of those tracks where maybe at the time of day we're at, the track might be too cold for the softs to work, and maybe they'll slide more and the wear will be higher. Maybe the super softs, it'll be in their rate, or maybe vice versa. So what I would say is to people, if you're killing the soft tyre, maybe you need to try the super soft instead. If you're killing the super soft, maybe you need to try the soft tyre instead. And if you're killing both of them, maybe try driving a little differently. Because Brazil is a bit of a tyre killer.
Yeah. Tyre killer, especially that middle sector.
Absolutely. I mean, one thing I would highly, highly, highly recommend is this is one of those races where you don't really want to be going for those slightly late on the brake moves in that middle sector, because all it's going to do is hurt your tyres. You may make an overtake, but in the long run it's going to hurt you big time. So yeah, I would highly recommend thinking twice about that. But also, track limits, for anyone that doesn't know, we're in the TLC, it's the Track Limits Championship. We're using the in-game system in this championship, and all of the tracks have been selected because they all are tracks where we would normally use quite a bit of curb. So it's putting it to the full test. And Brazil is another one of those tracks where you would normally use a lot of curb, potentially in that middle sector, Ray, or even the exit of turn 3, perhaps running a little bit wide, and drivers are going to have to be very, very careful of clocking up those penalties.
Yep, and even like just before the last corner, going a wee bit wide there, that could clock you up a penalty.
Yep.
I'm able to see who cuts the last corner because they'll flash up.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to be careful at the pit entry, crossing that as well. Should touch on as well, while I remember, we saw Dave the Harp ghosted over the line at the end of this race. He did get a penalty through the final corner that he tried to get rid of before the line. Couldn't quite do it, so the in-game penalty rounds up to a second, which does drop him behind SGP. I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, normally, if he'd have had another lap to get rid of the penalty, he'd been able to get rid of it easily, but getting a penalty at the final corner of the final lap, it's not going to be easy to get rid of that penalty. No, so unfortunate there for Dave, but I do find it quite interesting with the penalty, and it'll be really interesting to see how it goes. Also, during the race, we touched on like perhaps what the etiquette should be, and I mean, I'll ask you the question. Should someone who is serving their penalty pull off the racing line, get out of the way and serve their penalty?
In my opinion, or
In your opinion, not an admin's opinion. In your opinion,
I think it would be the more rightful thing to do. But how do you do that if you're? Because we know you can lose penalty time in a corner.
mm-hmm.
How are you going to do that in a corner?
Well,
You know,
exactly.
say nobody's going to lose their penalty on a straight. They would lose far too much. Just going that little bit slower through a corner.
Yeah.
They won't lose as much as what they would do if they had to kind of lift down a straight against somebody going flat out, and we're in a corner. You can lift that wee bit and break that wee bit more, that it's slower than what the game would think you'd be going round the corner for. So yeah, ideally off the racing line, but with the way the game's built and how it deals with it, and how the best way for drivers to deal with it, I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh well, I mean, I'm kind of on the side of probably not in this, with the way this system works. I'd say, yeah, you don't need to be moving. I mean, if you are going to be sort of slamming the anchors on to try and get rid of a penalty on a straight, then yeah, you probably should be moving off the racing line to do that. Because at least then, moving off the racing line, it's a bit of a sign to everybody that, okay, what are you doing over there? And they can be aware of it. But yeah, so I don't think you'd necessarily, I don't think it's something we'd enforce. One thing I do like about GT7 is the penalty zones that they have on that. Although I'm not a big fan of that, I'm more a fan of that than I am of what GT Sport does. Because at least on GT7, it's everybody knows, all right, if the car ahead of me's got a penalty, at that point, they're going to be automatically made to slow down.
But it's at a consistent point. So everybody that gets a penalty is going to have to do it at the same point. Where on GT Sport, there's no consistent point to lose your penalties. So.
And also, like you said, someone could get a 1 second penalty, but if they lose it in a less efficient way, that penalty might cost them 4 or 5 seconds. Whereas someone else may have a second penalty and may be able to lose it in a much more efficient way and have it cost them not much time at all. But yeah, so I do think it'd be interesting to see how that progresses and eventually progresses through onto GT7. Which, as far as I'm aware, we're still not looking at going on to yet, because there's been an update. A lot of things need checking, and as far as I'm aware, excuse me,
I even played it.
The next championship discussions are to do with being on GT Sport, but also, if I'm just quickly off the top of my head, if the dates are kind of right, I think we can get another championship in, or a championship after this one. And then we're probably going to be into the dirty championships anyway over the summer period, like we said we'd do. So we're not going to be looking at moving over to GT7, I don't think, until at least a few months. So I wouldn't worry, folks, about that one.
Probably. If anything, the earliest would be, if everything went well, would be after summer holidays. But
yeah. I mean, we might try doing one of the dirties on it. But one of the things that we do need to have is we do need at some point to have a full lobby. To really try things. Because one of the things that we are noticing at the moment is, well, pre-update that's just come, the lobbies still aren't stable. And that for me is always a concern. Okay, we've waffled for quite a bit now. So
just got one more thing to say.
God, come on, get your joke out, come on.
It's not a joke.
All right.
I just want to say hello to my #1 fan when she watches on Sunday.
Okay, I put a subtitle. She's got COVID at the moment.
Jesus.
Yeah, unfortunately. But
It's Gwen?
Glynis.
Glennis.
Yep.
Guinness.
It's like Guinness, but with an L.
Guinness, come on, you can fight it. Go on.
That she can. Right, okay. I want to ask you this question again. Okay. So, I want to ask you this question, and your answer should be quick. Okay. What's 12 plus 12?
12 plus 12. I don't know. I said 24 and you said no.
Yeah, I know. I want to ask you a question. Your answer should be quick. What's 12 plus 12?
12.
Quick!
Oh, quick.
Unlucky. Got you with one of them. Okay. Right.
Yeah, come on. I'm a loaf of bread, thick cut.
Well, yes. It could be worse. I accidentally took my cat's medicine last night. Don't ask me how.
Should your cat get fresh? Should pussy get fresh or something?
Right. On that note, I think we'll go and check out the Conference race result of the championship standings. Right, thanks for joining us on commentary, Ray.
No worries. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the drivers for a great race to watch.
Let's check out the Conference race result of the championship standings. Race result confirmation then. Demon R taking the victory in the maximum points. Steve F1 second place. Twilight in third somehow. With Conrad in fourth. SGP in fifth. David Harp sixth. Almighty and Arsh in seventh. Art Pal in eighth. And Jason in ninth. As we said early on, a bit of a shame that a few drivers were unable to make it on race day. I mean, obviously with the way our rules are, that if we know we're going to have less than 10 the day before the race, we will postpone it until the next week. So a few drivers dropping out on race day makes that a little bit difficult to do. On to the standings then, and it's the same as the race results, with Demon R leading the way, Steve F1 second, Twilight third, Conrad fourth, SGP fifth, David Hart sixth, Almighty Nash seventh, Arpal eighth, Jason in ninth. Now there weren't any reports placed this week, which means you could say everyone was well behaved, or perhaps people just didn't feel things were worthy of placing a report on or anything like that. Now we didn't see a lot of what happened towards the end of the race in this one, unfortunately. I think there's something around Jason, Art Pal and stuff like that. We may have a look at that on the next G-Spot, but obviously we have said already that there isn't going to be a G-Spot this week, so we may have to wait until next week for that. I mean, with the G-Spot, it's not a case of we have to publish something every week. It's just if we have enough and there's stuff that we think are worth looking at, or if we have reports, then we're definitely going to try and put a G-Spot out. But yeah, we're not going to push ourselves beyond our limits to try and get stuff out there. Okay, don't forget, folks, to like, subscribe, hit that notifications bell. Merchandise is available, custom items available as well. All you need to do is drop us a message and let us know what you want, and we'll see what we can do for you. Next up is Brazil. It's going to be a tricky one. It'll be an interesting one. One thing I can guarantee you, in the DGT League, it's going to be action-packed. Although, if it is now dull and boring, don't blame me, blame the drivers. It's their fault. Right, thanks for watching, listening. Have a good one, everybody, and we'll see you all again soon.